It's time for Sharp Calls.
We'll start off with what Chad wants to hear, which is all the pros. They love the Saints, who Chad loves, and I don't know. I think I'm dug in. I'll let you pick it and do whatever you want with it this week, Chad. But I'm gonna stand by it. I think the public is right here. The Bucks are the right side. The Saints are frauds, and this is just not a game I would trust them with. If this was 3.5, 4, I could come around the Saints, but at 3, 2.5, um I just think it's the Bucks. But yeah, a lot of pushback on that one. Like an absurd amount of people called me and said I'm making a mistake. But
So
uh
listen, we're going to get into all these games, including that one. I will tell you when I listed the five that I thought we'd end up with that were sort of trending to my favorite, the Saints were on the outside looking in.
that's good. That makes me feel good because
I still like them, but they didn't make my top.
I might be wrong, but I just have zero faith in Derek Carr and the whole team, just everything about it. It's their first outdoor game in like
I dig it.
3 months, all of it. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Um, a game we talked about, we liked. I can't believe the number moved so much. We both like the Dolphins. It's gone from
Yeah.
4 to 3 in a lot of books. Brutal. Like, was hoping that was going to keep climbing. They smashed that one. A game I am worried about, which I did love, was the Giants. And you know, I do have some smart groups on my side, but there's also some smart groups on the other side that like the Rams. And I think it's all of us fighting over the 6. So I know some guys who love the Giants at 6.5, 6. And, this number got to 4, 4.5. And I know another group that came in really heavy on the Rams. And now I'm seeing it back. Some books at this morning, 5.5, and some offshore books at 6. So that's definitely an interesting one where everyone I talked to for the most part like the Giants, and I talked to maybe two guys who really like that Ram spot, especially under 6. It would just be crazy if this did land 6. The books would get absolutely crushed if this does somehow land on 6. But that's another one we are going to talk about because even under 6, I'm still not too worried. I feel like 5.5 is still a pretty good number for that Giants game. Another game we didn't talk a crazy amount about, but you know, made sense to me when I talked to people that they were on the same side as us. I think we did talk about that we like the Colts. Talked to plenty of pros that like the Colts. It wasn't as much I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be a huge smash spot, and it kind of seems like teams are a little weird. I mean, guys are a little weary of fading this Raiders team and this defense. But I just think the Colts, their coach and all of it offensively, they just put Minshew and their players in the right spot. So that's another game I'm excited for us to break down. A game we talk a little bit about, but again, we missed the number. Houston. Like we were probably gonna put that in our contest. It was 3, 3.5. Now I'm seeing 5.5. Not that this was so much a sharp call, but it was like, talked to a couple of people. It's like you're grabbing Houston, right? Just in case CJ comes back, and whatever we did that Tuesday. So that was what 8 a.m.
48
for me,
hours.
9 a.m.
Yeah.
I think by 1 o'clock here in Hawaii, the CJ kind of news already leaked that he was
Yeah.
gonna be back practicing. It kind of
I
got
had
before
zero
half.
expectations we were going to have that. Like that number just wasn't going to work for us. I knew we were never going to get it.
Really, I was hoping if it was still 3.5, that'd have been great. Like that'd have been a nice spot to back Houston. That was a nice number to back them. But yeah, the biggest two games that I had disagreement with were the Lions. I know a bunch of pros that love the Lions. I like the Cowboys, and I know a bunch of pros that like the Saints. I like the Bucks. So yeah, an interesting week of some split people, but I can tell you from most guys I've talked to, most guys like chalk this week. Like I know a bunch of really smart groups betting the Browns. I know a bunch of really smart groups who do like the Ravens. I know a bunch of really smart groups that do really like the Seattle Seahawks. So it's an interesting week of usually guys I talk to just like the dogs or they stay away. And some guys are biting on these favorites because they think a lot of these dogs are overvalued. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into this one, but I'm also like I got 3 or 4 in my mind for us. I don't have a fifth yet for our 5. So
Well,
interested
I'm
to see
excited to
what your
see.
picks are.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if they match because there are a couple of favorites in here on my list and including one I added. And we talked a little bit about it the other day that I think is going to make for a good conversation.